Matt Province and the coach Ben Tanis back with you here from Parkland High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania on D11Sports.com. Our game of the week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Great heavyweight matchup here. Two of the top teams in the region going at it for the second time this season. Parkland coming in 11-5 overall against the Central Catholic Vikings, who are 14-1. This should be a battle. I know you and I are both very excited about this matchup tonight.
Yeah, and if it lives up to anything that the girls' game was, it should be another good one. Both teams, 1-2 in their division, top teams in the area, two great players in Thomas and Koval. It should be fun.
Yeah, it should be. In fact, the first game, you and I talked about this during the girls' game, which was a Parkland Trojan victory. They played to a 2-point game earlier this season. It was an amazing win, 55-53 for the Vikettes. So now you get round two, and it should be just as exciting. The two teams are 1-3, with the Vikettes 1 and Parkland 3 in the morning call standings. So you know you got two of the better teams of the region, and this should be fun. And let's talk first about the keys to the game as they announce the starting lineups here. I know that you've got it boiled down from Andy Stevens and from Dennis Census.
Yeah, Andy Stevens, man of few words. He said confidence and composure. So I think that just means that he knows this game's a big game. His team has a young leader in Koval, and they're going to have to make sure that they have the confidence to be able to battle with Central and, again, be able to relax a little bit. Central, on the other end, they want to contain Koval and Meeker and shoot well from the outside because the Trojans have a lot of size inside.
They sure do. Matt Rance, the big man, the senior, is 6'10". He gives them a whole lot of size. A couple of other guys in the front court who give you 6'3", 6'4". And as we talk about that, it is our starting lineups. And for Parkland, we talked about Koval and Meeker, but Matt Ray is a junior averaging 5 points per game. Matt Bauer is averaging 8 per game. He is a senior. And then Rance, the big man, goes 6'10", averaging 5.5 points per game. Had 6 points in the first meeting, including 2 dunks. Meanwhile, Central Catholic has a 1-2 punch in Lamb Joyce and Tyson Thomas that can really ball out. They're joined by Brendan Reed, Griffin Patridge, and Jarrell Vigo for the starting five. Some terrific athletes on display here at Parkland High School. And we are ready as Joyce and Rance are at center court, and Parkland will go on offense first here in our D11 Sports Game of the Night. Parkland most recently defeated Easton. Trojans have won 4 in a row, and Meeker is fouled. Looked like he was going to pull up for a jumper, and he was knocked down by Vigo.
And Coach Stevens talked about confidence and composure. The first time I got to see Meeker play, he played with such composure. He plays like another coach out there on the floor. He's a huge, huge player for Parkland.
Meeker had 17 points in the first meeting, 10 of them coming in the fourth quarter to get Parkland right back in the game. Nothing doing for Bauer. Good defensive stand thus far. Now it's Ray. And knocked out of bounds. Good hands by Tyson Thomas. Here's another guy that's a returning all-area player. He was a second-teamer for the EPC and a co-MVP for the Lehigh County Division a year ago.
Parkland now's run three straight sets here to try to get Koval a shot, and Central's been all over it.
First foul on Patridge, so another defensive foul, that away from the ball, and 2 team fouls early on against the Vikings. Dennis Census in his 10th year, a 195-64 record, and most importantly, a state championship a year ago. And the pull-up game off the bank, it's in. Koval using glass and a chance at a 3-point play.
Yeah, Central's so worried about him shooting threes. They're running him off the line. He was able to get inside the paint. Nice finish off the glass. It was a tough angle.
Koval a year ago, you talked about his 3-point shooting, was 6th in the region, made 41 3-pointers as he makes the free throw for a 3-point play. And he's on pace to beat that this season, Ben. He's got 36 3-pointers made coming into this one.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that once it starts going, he can really get into a flow and get threes in bunches.
His range seems limitless. Now Ray got beaten to the mark by Thomas, and there's the first foul against Parkland in the game.
That was a good set by Central. they ran a shooter up top to be able to give an isolation for Thomas.
That thrown away, but good job by Vigo to sense trouble. Vigo is just a freshman, yet averaging 5.5 points per game. Had 7 against Parkland in that classic that was won by the Vikings at Rockney. Down low where Rance has the size. Out for a triple, that's too strong. And a tough rebound. Will Meeker in traffic pulls it down. He's averaging 5 boards per game. Nowhere to go for Koval. Switch it over to Bauer, not there. So Parkland being patient as Koval into a double team there. Nearly lost the handle, goes down, no call. Vikings very quick on this defensive possession.
And Parkland's just running a motion offense. They don't like to call too many sets. Coach Stevens likes them to just kind of get into a flow and play basketball. It's tougher for them to be scouted when they play that way.
Oh, break there for Rance, who got it back after the deflection by Joyce, another terrific player who was an all-state and all-area first teamer a year ago, averaging 16-plus points per game. Meeker pulls up, long jumper, too strong. And Vigo's been very active early on. And that pass a little too strong. Joyce in transition, couldn't link up with his partner in crime, Tyson Thomas.
I like the idea, though. I like them trying to push the pace, and it was a good run by Joyce. I think even with all the size that Rance has, he's going to have some trouble with Joyce. He's got all the tools to be able to score inside.
Yeah, Joyce, quite a player. PA Coach's Player of the Year last season as a junior, and has not disappointed with his encore this season, back at 16 points per game.
And Central now coming with a little bit of the zone, changing things up.
To the corner, here's a look for Ray. Bullseye! Matt Ray from the corner knocks down the triple.
It's a big shot by Ray in the corner there. They went zone, and Koval was able to find some room down there. Now he's tasked with having to guard Thomas.
Great start for the Trojans, up 6-0 on a pair of three-point plays done differently. Koval the hard way, the old school way, and then the distance from Ray. Nothing doing for Joyce, throws it away. Here comes Koval, 2-on-1. Koval accelerating, reverses up and in, off the glass. Boy, Koval, sharp in transition.
That was a great finish, but the turnover was caused there by a quick double team. As soon as Joyce got it, Parkland sent another guy to help Rance out.
And then another turnover. Thomas into traffic, 2-on-1. Here's Bauer to the rack. Bauer is rejected from behind. Ray tried to track it down. It'll be Vikings basketball, and a great job getting back. And I believe it was Joyce with the rejection.
Yeah, it looked like he was able to get back. I think Joyce and Vigo were in there together. Hustling back to kind of keep this at 8-0. That would have been a huge play and probably would have caused a timeout.
Couldn't have gotten off to a better start for Andy Stevens in his 14th season. Closing in on 250 victories right now, 247. Nice move. Thomas can't get it to go. Rance with that size grabs the rebound, and Parkland gets another defensive stop. Koval draws a double team. Meeker wide open. It's off the mark, but Bauer on offensive rebound. So Parkland winning in all aspects early on, but Ray falls down. Thomas is elusive. Thomas going back with Meeker over the shoulder, up off the glass and in. Beautiful finish. Tyson Thomas, the senior.
Yeah, really great finish with his left hand, with Meeker coming over to the other side. He was able to get it high off the glass. Remember,
he had the decisive field goal. It was 0 for 13, yet they drew him up a play. He knocked it down to knock off Hanover in that PIAA Class 4 finals a year ago in Hershey. Arguably the biggest moment in school history. Here's Koval, no good. And the rebound cleared by Polari. Nico Polari is a junior who's been terrific off the bench for head coach Dennis Sensitz.
The Central was lucky to get away with a miss there by Koval. There was a miscommunication in the zone. He was able to get it off.
Thomas misfires there. Here's a three. Ray hit one earlier. That one off the mark, but another offensive rebound, but stolen away. It's Polari. So on cue, Polari showing you some of his ability off the bench to make an impact, and he's fouled by Matthew Bauer.
Yeah, Polari's one of those guys who's got good range. He's tall, long. He's able to do a little bit of everything. He's a great guy who's able to come off the bench and give them good minutes.
Ray will come out. Joshi, a senior, will come in. Of course, Nick Koval's father, Scott, so if I call him Scott during the broadcast, I apologize, but what a name synonymous with basketball in our area. 29th season at DeSales. He's amassed better than 500 victories, 8-time Coach of the Year, and the winningest coach in Bulldog history. Tough drive, blocked.
Yeah, he's a legend in this area, not only as a player, but as a coach as well. And, I wonder who can shoot better, him or his son. If they were to go out and shoot around, I don't know who would win.
Can you imagine that game? Remember the old Michael Jordan, Larry Bird commercials with the McDonald's hitting three-pointers from the moon? That's probably what you get in the Koval driveway.
Most likely. I might put my money on Scott.
Of course, with the keys to the sales gym there, hopefully they would go indoors. Don't need to shoot in the driveway. Thomas on the move, a little spinorama, and the kick out. A wide open look is short, taken by Vigo, and Parkland able to clear another rebound.
Thomas does a good job of getting into the lane. The last time he went in there, Rance really affected his shot, and he did a better job of being able to kick the basketball out, and Central's going to have to knock down some of those shots. Like Coach Sensa said, was one of the keys to the game.
Polari again, Ben, and he got it knocked out by Joshi. Good hands by Joshi to prevent an easy two.
It absolutely should have been. But two things you're seeing here, Central's being able to switch their defenses up a little bit and get into passing lanes, and Parkland's been careless with the ball, but, Coach talked about composure. There was great composure there to get that play back when it looked like it was just going to be a layup.
And that one too strong, no good for Joyce. Look at Thomas, always hustling, tried to save it and does. Great job, Joyce and Thomas working together, and a rejection. It's Meeker. And this time a foul. Boy, Thomas stayed with it. He has a lot of energy. He's dynamic, this Tyson Thomas. Bauer's second foul.
Yeah, I think Central looked up at the scoreboard, saw it was 8-0, and said, we got to get going here. And they picked up their pressure here.
Thomas gets to the line. Ben, he has been to the line 94 times now, including the shot coming up, and he shot it at 75%.
And you can see why. He's relentless. I mean, he's looking to constantly probe the defense, and he gets those kind of plays, those hustle plays, where he's always around the basketball.
It's all three of the Vikings' points in the first quarter, brought to you by our good friends at Reichenbach Oil. Reichenbach Oil Company celebrating over 100 years of providing the Lehigh Valley with convenient and reliable home heating oil delivery. Proud to support all District 11 athletics. Mention you heard us on the D11 Sports broadcast and receive $25 off your next oil delivery. Second shot, good. Anthony Jones has checked in. He's a junior, playing up top on the defense. A little 3-2 look perhaps right here.
We're looking at a little bit of a role reversal here. Vikings playing the zone. The Lady Trojans were playing zone last game and really affected what the Vikettes were doing.
Joshi in the corner misses and tried to collect the offensive rebound. It's out of bounds, Vikings basketball.
And Parkland got a good look there. They got to do a better job of starting their offense closer to the basket. They're getting pushed out too easily right now by Central.
Tyson Thomas perhaps coming up deliberately for a final shot. He's had all four of the Vikings' points, coming in averaging 15.9 per affair. Fridia has checked in. He's in the corner. Thomas on the move. Look at the acceleration, but he couldn't finish. And Rance a rebound. And a heave before the buzzer is no good. And so Parkland, behind 5 points from Nick Koval, has a lead after one, score of 8-4. We'll take a break here from Parkland High School. When we get back, quarter number 2, as you're watching D11Sports.com's Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Since 1919, the name Reichenbach Oil has been synonymous with reliability and community. That's because for the past 100 years, we've been delivering heating oil to Lehigh Valley homes at ultra-competitive pricing 7 days a week, with auto delivery and easy payment options to fit your needs. And we offer same-day delivery. When you need oil delivered, think Reichenbach. 100 years of serving the Lehigh Valley community. Reichenbach Oil, delivery you can count on.
Matt Province and Ben Tanis back with you here on the11sports.com. Tonight's game brought to you by Broski Insurance, home, auto, life, and business. Broski Insurance Agency has you covered with more than 50 years of experience. Give their friendly staff a call at 610-264-3940 or visit their website at broskiins.com. Broski Insurance, tradition and pride since 1965. Parkland the early lead. Here's an open look, pulled and misfired on the three-point attempt by Patridge. Joyce, an offensive rebound, tried to save it, and Joshi comes away with it for Parkland. Ball being thrown around very wildly here the last minute or so, going back into the first quarter, into the beginning of this second quarter.
Yeah, Parkland's got to do a better job of getting into early offense by getting, get those rebounds, get the ball up the floor. They're getting pressured a little bit by the Vikings, and the ball's kind of flying all over the place.
Meeker has yet to score. He's a guy that can light it up, coming in, averaging nearly 14 a game. Joshi lost the handle. A good defensive series as Joyce and Thomas work together to create a turnover.
So both teams struggling a little bit here offensively. The game's got to find a little bit more of an up and down in order for them to both get into a rhythm.
Joyce has not yet scored either. In fact, all 4 points for the Vikings coming from the man with the ball in his hands. That is Tyson Thomas, returning all-league player. Vikings have won 8 in a row. Their last victory against Emmaus, 55-26 thumping. So they come in hot, just like their Vikettes did. Of course, Parkland winning the first game of our doubleheader, the women's side. And here's a long three-pointer. Polari couldn't get it to go. Ray pulls down the rebound, and see if they push the transition a little bit. Now they'll settle into a half-court offense with Koval.
Yeah, that Emmaus score was an eye-popping score for me. I can't believe, the margin of victory there.
Koval's got the tough assignment because Thomas has been guarding him, and he has been on him like a glove, on him again down below, but a whistle and a foul. Could be a hold. It is. It's going to be on Thomas, his first. Second, I beg your pardon.
And that's a big foul call. And this is something that they did earlier in the year too, and they've been trying to do, is post Koval up as a guard. He's got some good strength to him. He can take advantage of that.
Tyler Snyder will check in for him. Here's Koval pulling up and knocking down. He's got a cool 8 early on, and the Parkland lead is 7.
So Tyson had to check out, and immediately they put a bigger guy on him, and he's able to run off a screen, knock that down, fading away with soft touch.
Well, you mentioned that. That's a really big factor, not having him on defense to guard Koval. Look at that move, working the baseline. That's Liam Joyce. His first field goal.
Yeah, whereas Rance has got the size advantage, Joyce is definitely much faster. He's very crafty with the basketball, especially around the rim, which is, where he does most of his work.
Should be a fun battle, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Meeker will try it again. Second shot from that same area, that one no good. And now it's Snyder bringing it up, a senior. Hasn't played a ton. Joyce thought about it. As you mentioned, can take advantage of Rance, who is playing back a little bit. Jones with the basketball. Got cut off.
Yeah, he's trying to draw Rance out with that pump fake every time.
Rance wants to go, but he's been very smart, very patient about leaving his feet. Closes out too hard, and Joyce will blow right by him. Tries it again, gets some good help. Smart defense by Koval, or is that Ray? That was Ray who came over from the weak side. A tie up, it'll be Parkland basketball on the possession arrow.
Yeah, Parkland's playing man-to-man, but they have one guy all the time shading towards Joyce, so that they're able to double team. Almost every time he puts the ball on the floor and is looking to go, they're trying to send somebody to double team him.
Rance will take a breather, and we'll get our first look at Jesse Roosh, a senior. Very good football player over his years here with the Trojans.
And Roosh will come in here, and now he'll be tasked with guarding Joyce. He looks like maybe he's got some blood on his uniform or something that he's going to have to take care of, so he's going to have to come out of the game.
Either that or a contact issue, something of that matter or that nature. Give us a chance to remind you that the second quarter is brought to you by Reichenbach Oil Company, celebrating over 100 years of providing the Lehigh Valley with convenient and reliable home heating oil delivery. Proud to support all District 11 athletics. Mention you heard this on the D11 Sports broadcast and receive $25 off your next oil delivery. Right now it's been Nick Koval leading the way, 8 points. His 37th three-pointer of the year. That came to start the second quarter. Thought about it. Nothing doing. Now a little bit of pace on the offense. Get it to Joshi. Bullseye! Karen Joshi knocks down the three-point field goal, his 8th this season, and the lead back to a game-high 8 now.
And that's that offensive movement in just a simple motion offense of them just playing off of what each other's doing and making different reads. They had a little bit of a drive and kick offense going there. And Joshi's playing with a lot of confidence. That was a big shot.
And then a big play on defense, using his hands to get the deflection. It's kicked out of bounds off the Vikings.
Yeah, it looked like he came in a little nervous, and then he made a couple plays on defense, and that always leads to big shots on the offensive end.
And that was the quickest. Their last possession was the fastest they've played on offense. They really moved it around, got people moving. A step back, Koval, got it! Koval has started red hot. Timeout Central. The sophomore Nick Koval has knocked down 11 points early on to lead all scorers, and the Parkland lead is now at an apex at 9.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays where you just know that he's practiced that move over and over and over again. You see NBA guys like Chris Paul wanting to get to his spot, and he got to his spot there, and there's nothing that Partridge could do about it. He played good defense, got a hand in his face. It's just something that he's done constantly. He's able to knock that down.
It's crazy though too, right? Because he didn't have a whole lot of real estate on the floor when Thomas was in there guarding him. Thomas goes out with the 2 fouls. He's knocked down back-to-back three-point shots.
Yeah, Thomas is definitely the best one that you're going to be able to put on him. He's going to be the one side to side quickly that can stay with him, and now they're going to roll the dice, and he's back out there.
Koval had 33 against Pocono Mountain East earlier this season. Exploded for 25 in that victory over Allen. The reigning District 11 6A champions. And they'll meet up again here soon, too, as well. Parkland and Allen will meet up the next time Parkland comes to the floor on the 28th. Thomas back in. Look at the acceleration. A whirling dervish as he finishes. Beautiful move by Tyson Thomas.
Central, again, just clears out that side of the floor for him. And there's no one, I don't think, on Parkland's side that can stay in front of him. He just brings a huge element, and he's got to be able to stay on the floor. So even with Koval here, guarding Koval, he's got to be smart.
6 points of the 8 for Central have come from Tyson Thomas. A look down low to Joshi. Didn't have a chance to gather in time. We'll back it out. You could see it's a little tougher to get away from Thomas. He's trying. Just a sophomore, too. He's going to set records or come close anyway, scoring. Brilliant a scorer as he is.
Yeah, getting fewer games in last year, that's going to be tougher for him, but he still is going to be putting up a ton of points.
Patient here on this possession. Down low, Roosh. Tried to go up and under. Joyce just took it away. So A.M. Joyce contributing in a variety of ways, gets the turnover at a time the Vikings needed a stop.
Yeah, and you know they're not going to back down. They're used to this. Reigning state champs.
Long three off the mark. Rebound to Parkland. Koval looking to push. Thought about pulling up and will from the Trojan logo. Can't get it to go. Thomas has it, and look out. You know he wants to run. He's got numbers 3 on 2. To the corner for an open look. It's Reed. Bullseye. Brendan Reed able to connect.
Tyson pushing the pace, able to throw it to the corner. Even as the ref was running by it, I thought it was going to get deflected, and that's a big shot.
14th triple of the year for Brendan Reed. Had 3 in the first meeting between the two teams. Meeker will spot up and knock it down. Will Meeker, and the threes are flying out here in Parkland.
And then confidence and composure, and he just is a model of that. A big shot, things could have been going the other way, comes back with another big shot, shoots it at his pace.
Lead back to 9. Down low, Joyce. Tough move in traffic, draws contact and a foul. And it will be on Roosh, who is guarding him.
And what Rance was able to do with his size and couldn't do with his quickness, Roosh is just the opposite. He's able to stay in front of Joyce, but, you know, once he gets down into the post, Joyce is able to kind of use his size against him.
24 points, 12 rebounds when they met back in early January. He's a 61% free throw shooter, and he misfires there. Back in comes Rance. Roosh will take a blow.
That's going to be something good for Central, that they're able to, you know, flip-flop those two defenders, two different style defenders against Joyce throughout the night.
And both missed. And that's Koval coming back to snatch the rebound. Joyce has a couple of points today, has been held in check so far. And now down to 20 seconds to go in the first half. Parkland right now at its largest lead, up 20-11. Koval gets the screen. Oh, great cut by Joshi, a good look by Rance. Here is Ray before the buzzer is short. Rebounded by Fridia, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half. Nick Koval blew up with a couple of second quarter three-pointers. He's got a game-high 11 thus far, and Parkland leading at the half 20-11. Before we step out, we do want to remind you that St. Luke's is the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries. St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training. You can trust St. Luke's Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care. And it looks like Nick Rivera.
Yeah, it looks like he's down
in his spot, and he's joined by Andy Stevens. Let's throw it down to Nick the Quick.
We know that's not going to keep up in the second half, so we have to just keep grinding defensively. Hopefully, make some shots offensively, and it's been a defensive battle, so we'll see what happens.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck. Back to you guys.
All right, Nick Rivera, a sophomore who's part of this program, and we do want to encourage you, if you're a student from any District 11 school and you're interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out d11sports.com. Follow your dream and get close to the action as you take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to Al or Dave at d11sports.com. All right, we'll step aside, come back, and talk about this first half a little bit as you're watching the d11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
St. Luke's knows that trust is the foundation of all relationships. It's earned over time. It's the type of relationship you should have with your healthcare team. While our healthcare needs are different, one thing is constant: St. Luke's is focused on building a lasting relationship with you, earning your trust and putting your well-being first. When it comes to great health care, trust is essential. St. Luke's, the care you trust, now more than ever.
For all the moments of your life, through thick and thin, Broski Insurance has been there. Since 1965, it has been our honor to be there for you and your family, both in the good times and the tough times.
Home, auto, life, and business. Broski Insurance Agency. Tradition and pride since 1965. Online at broskiins.com.
Welcome back to Parkland High School. The dance squad doing its thing out here at halftime with the boys leading Central 20-11. And, of course, this is D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Matt Province and Ben Tanis with you. And, you know, Ben, we didn't know what to expect. We thought it would be a close game and probably will go down to the wire. But Parkland did a nice job controlling the pace of the first half and hit their shots.
Yeah, they did. And you know, they got a couple open looks when Thomas was out of the game, and they kind of had him out for about 2 minutes. They brought him back in. He settled him back in to keep it here at 9 o'clock or 9 points. But outside of that barrage of threes from Joshi and then the two from Koval, it's been a pretty evenly matched game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting the second half. They'll make their adjustments and all. Now, Thomas had the 2 early fouls, but was able to avoid picking up a third, so you would imagine they don't have to manage his minutes as much as they did in the first half. He's going to be a tough guard, and if they get him going, it would appear to me that would open up guys like Joyce and some of the three-point shooters, but when he's off the floor, it's a different dynamic. They don't have anybody who can go in and really disrupt the interior of the defense and kick out, and that's what Thomas was able to do. He's also able to finish in traffic.
Yeah, they're a completely different team without him on the floor, so he's going to have to be careful. But, you know, the other side of that is he seems to be the best defender on Koval, so they're going to be asking him to do an awful lot with 2 fouls. So they might have to try a different defender on Koval to give him a little bit of a break there, because they definitely need him to push the pace, because that's when Joyce can start to get open. When he's going to the bucket and they have to key on them so much, that's when Joyce can get better looks at the basket when not everybody's focusing on him.
It's been a nice run for Parkland, and it's a big game for them because obviously with a 4-game winning streak, a date with Allen followed by Northampton, this would be a nice one to get into that W column. And meanwhile, we've talked about the Central boys who have won 8 in a row, and just a little bit later in halftime we'll take a look at the standings. But right now, Parkland leading by 9. And we do want to remind you that the game tonight is brought to you by Broski Insurance, home, auto, life, and business. Broski Insurance Agency has you covered with more than 50 years of experience. Give the friendly staff a call, 610-264-3940, or visit their website at broskiins.com. That's broskiins.com. Broski Insurance, tradition and pride since 1965. We're going to step aside here from Parkland. When we get back, we'll take a look at the standings to see just what's at stake here as we wind down the stretch in the 2021-22 regular season. Of course, for Nick Rivera, our sophomore student sideline reporter, and Ben Tanis, I'm Matt Province. We'll step aside and be back with more. We're at halftime, 2011 Parkland. This is D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
At St. Luke's Orthopedic Care, you can trust us with your hands, feet, shoulders, hips, and knees. Because healthy bones and joints mean you can do more. You can trust us to recommend the right approach to care, including joint-sparing treatments and therapies. And when surgery is the only choice, we offer options to help you heal faster, including technology-assisted joint replacements and muscle-sparing hip surgery. St. Luke's, the orthopedic care you trust, now more than ever.
For all the moments of your life, through thick and thin, Broski Insurance has been there. Since 1965, it has been our honor to be there for you and your family, both in the good times and the tough times.
Home, auto, life, and business. Broski Insurance Agency. Tradition and pride since 1965. Online at broskiins.com.
Matt Province and Ben Tanis back with you here from Parkland High School, where the Trojans have a 20-11 lead in this EPC West battle. And, Al DiCarlo and the good folks at D11sports.com have put together a great enterprise. And it's really great because it allows these students to get involved. It's a tough business to crack. There's not a whole lot of opportunities, and the experience that you get earlier can come back and benefit you later when you start your career and have an idea of maybe the schooling you want to go through following high school. But right now, our sideline reporter tonight, our sophomore Nick Rivera, has another protege of the D11 sports team, and that is Joey Draper. They're going to talk a little bit about this internship and this opportunity right now. Take it away, Nick.
So we're here with another D11 sports reporter, Joey Draper, senior at Emmaus. Joey, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing it since my freshman year. I started in the spring season of freshman year, so my first experience was covering track and field events and, doing all the sports in the spring, lacrosse and girls lacrosse, boys lacrosse, covering the district championships for that. So that was kind of my first experience, but freshman year.
Okay. Do you plan on doing this when you go to college or now?
Yeah, so I'm going to go to Penn State Lehigh Valley first, and then after 2 years there, go up to the main campus at University Park, study broadcast and journalism, and hopefully be able to cover all the Penn State sporting events, and then one day make it and cover the major leagues.
All right, sounds good. Guys, Joey Draper here. Back to you guys.
All right, Joey. All right, Nick, thanks for that. And, it is a great opportunity. They didn't have anything like this, I know, when we were younger guys. So the fact that this was an idea that had not yet come to surface until Al and his crew got it going, to me, is amazing. But also, it was time coming, because it is such a hard field to get into. There's so many opportunities with sports being such a key facet of our civilization and our society in America. So guys like Joey, guys like Nick are getting ahead of the curve, and D11sports.com to thank for that.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely incredible that they get an opportunity to do that. And not only that, I mean, they have access to way more information than us, being able to go to the schools where these guys play and have all those different things. So I think it's awesome for the fans as well to be able to see these kinds of games from, their friends' point of view.
No doubt about it. And if you're a student looking for an opportunity like this at any District 11 school, make sure you contact D11sports.com. You get started in broadcast journalism or photography. Follow your dream and get close to the action as you take part in the student internship program. Again, D11sports.com, or reach out to your athletic director and do that now while you have a chance. And speaking of having a chance, we do have a quick moment here to look at the EPC standings, and you look at the West. This is why this game is so important, right? Central's been riding high, undefeated. If they were to lose tonight, they bring themselves back to the pack, and that is a thick pack waiting to jump up in those standings.
Yeah, there's no nights off there. I mean, Emmaus started off fantastically, and now they've had a couple of lumps, but when you look at those, 5 of those 6 teams there, they're having incredible years. You see that Allen's 1-4, but that's just in their division. I saw them play against Pocono Mountain West, get a huge win there. Any of those teams can really make some noise in both leagues and districts.
Yeah, and one more bout for Parkland with Northampton, Allen, as you mentioned, and Emmaus. I mean, those are going to be huge games naturally. And for the Central side of it, they go to Northampton, which we talked about earlier. That's not going to be a tough assignment. That's going to be a very tough assignment, not what you'd want if you can't come back and win here. And then they still have a bout with Emmaus remaining as well. Also, of course, one with Whitehall and William Allen. But at the top, and where they're all lumped together with better than 500 records, it's games down the stretch that are going to separate you for seeding, and you got to take care of business.
Yeah, and it's not only the seeding; it's how you play. You get some of these wins, and then you get that confidence. You settle into what each guy's role is, and that's what you want going into playoffs. So, all these teams are most likely going to be in the playoffs. You want them to be able to know that at the end of the year they were able to beat, Parkland. They were able to beat Central. They want to know that they have those signature wins under their belt.
Yeah, peaking at the right time. Is that the saying that we're so accustomed to in sports? And Parkland has won 4 in a row, so they're starting to peak a little bit here as we're set for third quarter action from Parkland High School. D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. And it's the visiting Vikings clad in green with the first possession of half number 2. Thomas gives way for a 3-pointer. That is no good. Polari couldn't get it to go. Or that's not Polari, I beg your pardon. Or is it? It is.
It is Polari, yes. And it looks like he's been given the green light to shoot. They want to get him involved in the offense because they have had a couple threes now for him to try and open things up, get a third scorer to go along with Joyce and Thomas.
And aside from Thomas, he then is the second best field goal shooter on the team from downtown. And Koval showing you he can score at all three levels.
Yeah, and they're trying to post him up. And he, one of the toughest shots to guard is a fadeaway. Later in his career, Michael Jordan went to that fadeaway, and nobody could really guard it because you just can't block it. You can't get the hand down. And if you can develop that touch, it's huge.
Koval 13 points now. Here's Thomas from distance, no good. Meeker goes up high for the rebound. So the lead is a game-high 11. They've doubled up the Vikings to this point and have possession here as they try to continue to pile on the lead. Thomas, so quick, he couldn't save it. But how about his verticality? I mean, he got up in a hurry to intercept that pass.
Yeah, he's got that quick twitch motion. He was able to get off the floor very quickly and high, intercept that ball.
A couple substitutions. Polari, who started the half, and Brendan Reed both go out. Travis Snyder comes back in as Joyce nearly caused the turnover, and Parkland will inbound again. Koval, good close out there on defense by Patridge. Rance waiting for him to utilize that 6'10 height, kicked it out, but again, the defense has been pesky on this possession. Good closeouts by the men in green.
Yeah, they're challenging everything right now. Surprised that wasn't a 5-second call.
Look at Thomas. Tried to save it, but he gets it to Meeker. Knocks it down.
It's a killer when you play that good a defense for that long and the ball ends up in the right spot in the right time for Parkland.
Meeker's second field goal. He's got 4. Up top, Snyder. Good job by Ray to get there quickly and prevent that opportunity for the Vikings. Thomas gets rejected, stays with it. God, he is pesky. Here's a three-pointer in the corner. Knocked down. Big shot at a big time by Jarrell Vigo.
Yeah, you can sense Thomas is getting a little frustrated, so he's kind of forcing things a little bit, but he's still relentless. I mean, even though he missed that shot, he got the rebound back, found the open guy, able to knock down a three.
Yeah, I mean, guys like Thomas who are that quick, obviously doesn't have huge size, right at 6 feet. Finishing through contact, using your body positioning, falling away, as you talked about earlier, are going to be so important. Certainly he'll be able to finish in the paint. We've seen that already today. That'll be the key. And if he goes on to play beyond high school, getting that ability where he's a threat, they don't just have to guard against a long-range jumper, he'll be able to finish a little bit more effectively. And it looks to me, just watching him here tonight, now I see why he's so touted, why he's averaging 16 points a game, because he can get to the basket, he can use his body, and he'll continue to get better as he grows and gets a little stronger.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of everything to his game. And, guys that are great offensively, sometimes take a step back on the defensive end. He's not certainly one of those guys. He plays both sides of the ball.
No, he's definitely got a bounce in his step. Koval off the bounce, a little too off, maybe a little strong as Bauer gets an offensive rebound. Good save, but did step out of bounds as the effort by Vigo was there, just couldn't execute with that second foot, and Parkland survives with another opportunity on this possession. And Vigo, we talked about this earlier, he's a freshman. He looks like a very athletic guy. He's been very active when in the game.
Yeah, he looks like he's ready for this stage. That was a big three that he knocked down on that last possession.
Bauer, a nice lead for Rance. Can't put it away. He may have been deflected on the shot from behind by Joyce, and that was a big stop. Now Thomas will pull up, knocks it down. Tyson Thomas getting loose here in Parkland.
Yeah, I've been impressed with his ability to come back no matter what. That's a big shot and they needed that. It was a big play there.
9 of the 17 Vikings points for Tyson Thomas. Now Koval being trapped. Good defense by Snyder, the senior.
Yeah, Central's really picked up the defensive pressure, but they got to make sure that they're careful with their hands.
Second foul on Vigo, team's third. And now Snyder will bounce out. Back into the game is Anthony Jones, junior that played a chunk of the first half as well. And I could tell you with insider's knowledge that Anthony Jones is a heck of a baseball player. Keep an eye come spring on the young man wearing number 21 in green. Meeker hassled with the double team, but a foul. And that's going to be the third now on Vigo.
And it's so hard to, Coach says you got to pick up the pressure. It's so hard to do that and not pick up fouls, playing that style.
Fridia comes in, a sophomore for the freshman Vigo.
Yeah, 2 guys running at Koval every time he's coming off a screen.
I was thinking to myself how hard they have to work on defense to close out on one of the area's premier three-point shooters. And then when he doesn't take three-point shooters, he can beat you at the intermediate range level. Bauer working baseline, nothing doing. Parkland up 7, being very patient with the basketball. And let's see here, turnaround jumper, a little short. Big rebound by Joyce, and look at, here comes Thomas with the basketball. He's been a magician. And this is going to use a lot of Koval's energy on the defensive side, guarding Thomas, who's a handful. Thought about pulling up, decided not to. Had some opportunities, a little bashful about pulling the three. Tough shot in traffic, knocked down, but on the floor, no basket. It will not count despite a fine finish by Patridge.
Yeah, he called it on the floor right away.
Ray and Rance pop out. Roosh and Joshi back in for Parkland.
Let's see if Joshi can give them another spark on the offensive end. Parkland's kind of relying so much on Koval right now, and their offense has gone stagnant.
That was the first foul on Meeker. And again, the energy guarding this guy. A quick release, Patridge, too strong off the heel. Joyce almost tapped it in, couldn't get it to go, and Joshi finally able to grab possession for Parkland.
Patridge has a couple open looks now, and I think he can knock that shot down, and that's what the Vikings need to have happen, because I think they're doubling a lot off of him.
Joyce bothering Meeker on his drive. It's a good matchup. Meeker and Joyce on this possession have gone at it a couple of times, and now a timeout called for by Parkland.
And this is where Parkland wants to find a little bit more into their offensive game other than just kind of running everything through Koval.
So 2:34 to go in the third quarter. Parkland up by 7, and it's a third quarter brought to you by Reichenbach Oil Company, celebrating over 100 years of providing the Lehigh Valley with convenient and reliable home heating oil delivery. Proud to support all District 11 athletics. Mention you heard this on D11 Sports Broadcast and receive $25 off your next oil delivery. So, Coach, it seems to me if I'm talking to the guys in green, they've got to be able to play off of Thomas. Somebody else has to step up. Vigo hit a 3. Joyce has been kind of stymied a little bit. They need that supplemental player because someone's going to be open when the ball's in Thomas's hands.
Yeah, and that goes for both teams here. Both teams, struggling offensively, but it seems as if Thomas is kind of like that Energizer bunny. He's got them going, the way that they want to, the way they want to play, and it's just a matter of time until things open up for them.
And that's the thing here. I mean, Parkland has dominated the play on the floor, has led from really the moment this game started on, but at a 7-point game, you knock down another shot here, and all of a sudden you got some momentum. And here's a big defensive play. Patridge able to get the ball away and pick up the foul. Frustration by Bauer.
Yeah, Patridge has played a great defensive game. He's been everywhere. He's so tough. able to get those extra loose balls. This is a big possession for momentum.
Fridia out. Lucas Mushrush has checked in. First time we've seen the freshman. Gives him some size too, 5'10". Or I should say, he gives Thomas some size. Thomas is now not the shortest guy on the floor. Bauer, though, coming back and doing a good job on defense.
You were thinking 5'10" from the girls' game.
I just read it wrong as Thomas didn't read that wrong. Like he is not 6'10". Jones able to save it. And then two Vikings collide. And the way this game has gone, the ball goes right back to Parkland.
Yeah, it's just the way it bounces sometimes. And Central's exerting a ton of effort defensively, but they don't have anything to show for it on the offensive end.
Good leave there. And the ball was knocked out of the hands of Roosh, but they get it back from Matthew Bauer off the mark. Another opportunity as Roosh creating havoc in the paint. This gives Meeker a look. Bullseye! Meeker.
Ball's bouncing everywhere for Parkland. They just seem to end up with it all the time. Cole did a good job of not shooting a rushed shot there. Swung it one more time to the open guy, and Meeker knocked it down.
And if Meeker hadn't shot, I was going to ask you the question, and you just kind of brought it up. When you're coaching, I mean, you can't do much about that, right? And it seems like that's the way it's gone for the Vikings.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. Sometimes you just chalk it up to an unlucky night.
Still very much alive, down 10. Final minute of the third quarter. Patridge over to Jones, who will launch just off the mark. The putback, how about Joyce? Able to put it in. Big moment there for Joyce, and then Parkland just turns it over. So maybe the Vikings can parlay this into a little momentum. They get a second effort shot to go down, and now get the ball right back.
Yeah, and when the ball isn't bouncing your way, you got to force it to. And Joyce did a good job. He was in between two or three guys, got his hand in there for the tip in.
So Joyce, the field goal. He's been held to 4 points thus far. Comes in averaging 16. Again, I mentioned 24 in the first game. He was 11 of 14 from the floor in that contest. Of course, had the big postseason a year ago. Averaged 16 and 8 in the PIAA postseason. Reed had a 3-ball earlier today. Now Thomas from way downtown, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Now Thomas driving, getting fouled. If he puts that in, he's simply a magician. Wouldn't have counted anyway, it was on the floor. But Thomas able to create things happening there, getting the loose rebound, the long rebound off the missed jumper.
But even so, I mean, he did a great job of being able to show strength, keeping the ball high so people couldn't reach down at it. I thought he'd be shooting two there.
Yeah, that would have been what the Vikings would have liked here. Chance for a good free throw shooter. Get some instant offense without taking more time off the clock as Thomas kicks to the corner. Reed is open, and the shot is no good. Joshi clears the rebound. And now 17 seconds to go, and you would imagine with the 8-point lead, Parkland will be very patient here and look for the final shot of quarter number 3.
Oh, I was just going to say he's got to be careful not to pick up a foul there.
That's his third. Snyder will come in for him. Reed leaves. Vigo, who's got 3 fouls as well, back out there for the Vikings with 8 seconds to go. Koval can't get free. Got a force before the buzzer, partially blocked. Terrific defense by Patridge, and that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Koval continues to lead the way. He's got 13 points, a game high. And as we go to the fourth from Parkland High School, 27-19 Trojans on D11Sports.com's Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
At St. Luke's Orthopedic Care, you can trust us with your hands, feet, shoulders, hips, and knees. Because healthy bones and joints mean you can do more. You can trust us to recommend the right approach to care, including joint-sparing treatments and therapies. And when surgery is the only choice, we offer options to help you heal faster, including technology-assisted joint replacements and muscle-sparing hip surgery. St. Luke's, the orthopedic care you trust, now more than ever.
Since 1919, the name Reichenbach Oil has been synonymous with reliability and community. That's because for the past 100 years, we've been delivering heating oil to Lehigh Valley homes at ultra-competitive pricing 7 days a week, with auto delivery and easy payment options to fit your needs. And we offer same-day delivery. When you need oil delivered, think Reichenbach. 100 years of serving the Lehigh Valley community. Reichenbach Oil. Delivery you can count on.
Matt Province, Ben Tennis back with you. Our producer Kevin Conley doing a great job working through some issues earlier to get us right where we need to be, and that's in the fourth quarter of an 8-point game and a big battle in the EPC West.
Little half-court trap here by Central.
Good ball movement, but still Joyce was able to get out there. Joshi was hassled, and again another loose ball that bounces the way of the Trojans. That's been the way of this game really through three quarters. Koval had the hot hand in the third quarter with a couple of triples early. Thomas is back in playing with 3 fouls. He's been the only answer to slow Koval down at all. Here's an opportunity, and this time the foul is going to go against Parkland as Meeker used his body to shield Patridge from the loose ball. And Patridge has had a whole lot of hustle here in the second half to try to create some opportunities for the Vikings.
Yeah, Central's got to stick with it. I mean, I really think they're playing great defensively, like we talked about. The ball just hasn't bounced their way. It's not going to stay that way for the rest of this game. And I think if they just continue to be pests on the defensive end, plays like that are going to turn into dunks on the other end.
And it's only an 8-point game. Now, it's low scoring, so it's magnified a bit, but certainly the Vikings have the firepower to close the gap quickly. Parkland did that in the first meeting when they charged back to make it quite a finish. Now Joyce, Meeker hounds him, creates a turnover as Koval comes away with the basketball. Koval accelerating all the way to the rack, puts it up and in. What acceleration for the sophomore Nick Koval.
Yeah, you talk about him being relentless as well. There's 2 guys in front of him. He just sped up and went by him.
15 points for Koval. And now comes away with that loose ball, an empty possession for the Vikings, and really a sloppy one at a time they can ill afford.
Yeah, that's one where they really needed to make sure they got a good shot, settle themselves in a little bit.
Ray, patient. Meeker blocked Joyce. But again, it will stay with Parkland. Just looking for that break or series of breaks to cut into the gap, but this game has been played much to about a 7 to 10 point lead for Parkland.
Yeah, they're just slowly grinding this one away, and this next 3 minutes here is going to be really big to how this game plays out. Either Central's going to be able to claw back into it, or Parkland's going to be able to kind of push this lead up to 13-14.
They need someone other than Thomas, who has a bulk of their scoring, to step up. That would also free Thomas up a bit. He's at 9 of their 19 points. Patridge picks up his second foul here for the Vikings. Here's Meeker. He had 5 third-quarter points, 7 for the game. And there's the third, joining both Thomas and Vigo with 3 fouls for the Vikings.
Koval's got to work so hard to get the basketball. He's running constantly. And, these defenders constantly got to run around and chase them. It's just a matter of time when they, got to stick your hand out and kind of hold on to him.
But he never relinquishes. I mean, it's amazing. He and Thomas both play with this unbelievable motor.
Yeah, I would need an ice bath if I was one of the 2 of them.
I need some oxygen. Oh, nearly a fine play by Vigo, but he was a step behind the pass. Now Meeker, tough shot. There's Rance, but he threw it away to Joyce, and here comes Thomas. 3-on-3, Thomas had a great look. Unfortunately, Fridia was not expecting.
I think sometimes when Rance gets those balls down there, he's got to be a little bit more aggressive. Got to look to go back up with it. He's kicking it out as soon as he can.
Yeah, because you wonder who's going to stop him at 6'10". He's by far the tallest guy on the court. He's got a good broad set of shoulders, so you figure going up strong would behoove his offensive ability. But then again, Joyce has been a block specialist over his time with the Vikings, has a couple more today. So he's kept him in check. In the fourth quarter, of course, brought to you by Reichenbach Oil Company, celebrating over 100 years of providing the Lehigh Valley with convenient and reliable home heating oil delivery. Proud to support all District 11 athletics. Mention you heard us on the D11 Sports broadcast and receive $25 off your next oil delivery. And I'm guessing if you're down there coaching like you did for, 8 years in the Colonial, you're probably saying, look, guys, 10-point lead. What's next? What do we need from these guys?
Yeah, my statement was always, it's now or never, guys. I mean, we just got to continue to keep trying to make plays, and the ball's going to bounce our way. You got to try to stay positive in these situations because they have been battling. So you just, keep on saying we just need one shot to go down, one play to go our way, and you got to keep on trying to go out and make plays and don't just wait for one to happen. You be the one to go make a play.
And in basketball, momentum can change at a drop of a hat, or in this case, a basketball. And there hasn't been that 2-3 series flurry where the Vikings have been able to really switch it back.
Yeah, we only really had one of those flurries in the first half.
Lear Adams has just checked into the game for Parkland. They trapped him. He was able to get through it.
Adams is going to provide a little bit more ball handling for him, a little bit more strength.
We've got three guards with Ray and Koval and Adams out there. Ray like a globetrotter dribble right around the defense there in Vigo. And this is where if you're Thomas, I'm sure you get frustrated because you're trying to get the ball back. You're guarding an elite scorer, and he's maybe able to do that. Thomas now lost the handle, gets it back. That's no good on the second effort. Patridge can't get it to go, and again a third effort, and it's going to be a foul. And it's going to send the Vikings to the free throw line. Fridia, who was working hard for yet another opportunity on the offensive glass.
Yeah, Parkland can't just try to hang on to this 10-point lead. They have to continue to attack. They're not going to be able to hold on to the ball for another 4 minutes and 30 seconds. They're going to have to get some offense. And, if you're Central, just keep doing what you're doing. They're going to fold if you keep that pressure up.
Got to make these, though. Fridia hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities from the line, but now just 4 of 10 this year. And to your point, you've got a lot of long, wiry, athletic defenders that can create traps and turnovers and, change the game around. But they got to score.
Yeah, the ball does at some point have to bounce their way, and they missed 2 there.
Adams kind of wisely holds back, buys some more time. Joyce comes out and fouls him. First foul on Joyce.
The next one's 1-1.
Koval, Ray, Adams, Meeker, Rance on the floor for Parkland, the home team in white. Patridge, Thomas, Vigo, Joyce, and Fridia out there for the Vikings. Koval will launch straight on from deep. Bullseye! I mean, that's from Schnecksville. Oh, Toledo's range is endless.
Yeah, real smooth shot. And there's Patridge on the other end returning the three-point shot.
That's a big make. That keeps him alive. First field goal for Patridge is a three-pointer, and they very nearly used the defense and the pressure to create a turnover, but it'll be a foul. And it's on Patridge. That's number 4 now. He just found his stroke. You said he should stay with it. He has good form. You called for him earlier. He finally knocked one down there, and now he's got 4 fouls, so he's got to play carefully.
Yeah, he can't be shy shooting the basketball, but now defensively he's going to have to change the way he plays a little bit because he is a very physical player, and they need him in there right now.
Adams, if you're wondering, a perfect 6 for 6 from the line this season. Make it 7 of 7. His first point of the game.
And I really like what Adams is able to bring to the table at these times in the games. He can handle the basketball. He's strong with the ball, and he can put the ball in from the foul line.
Yeah, and maybe it's another reason why to put him in. Ball handling against the pressure, and then the ability to connect if he is fouled. Smooth. And so after the Patridge three, Parkland answers with 2 from the line. 12-point game with 3:42 to go. Koval leading the way. He's got 18 points. 9 of them coming from a trio of triples. He's now up to 39 this season, 2 shy of his mark a year ago. Thomas trying to get loose. Disjointed possession to this point. Patridge turns, fires, knocks it down! So he has gotten hot with back-to-back triples and again keeping the Vikings alive here in the fourth quarter.
Plenty of time. 3 minutes, 20 seconds is an eternity. So Parkland, they are kind of trying to pull Central out, and Central came with a double the last time. That freed up Koval. We'll see if they do it again.
All of a sudden, the triple's raining, and Patridge with 6 points for the game. We're still alive here, and we'll remind you that St. Luke's is the region's largest sports medicine provider, covering more than 200,000 student enrollment and 40,000 student athletes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, covering 8 counties and providing the most comprehensive and advanced treatment for athletic injuries. St. Luke's offers athletic training, orthopedic care, physical therapy, and concussion management, plus sports performance training for individual athletes and teams. During these extraordinary times, you can trust St. Luke's Sports Medicine to provide extraordinary care. And Ben, this is kind of what we said for the Vikings when Thomas was the only guy really putting the ball in the basket in the first half of the game. If someone else can step up and score, it's going to give them another source of scoring, and it might even free up Thomas. So let's see if Patridge, playing with 4 fouls, can be that lean-to guy to get Thomas back involved.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too little too late, and hopefully a couple other guys get into it too. You get one other guy knocking down shots that should free up a couple other guys to get better looks.
Thomas has had 9, Reed 3, 5 from Joyce, 6 from Patridge, 3 from Vigo. Haven't scored a whole lot, just 25 points to this point of the game. Koval just dribbling around double teams. Such a polished player and hard to imagine just a sophomore.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get trapped there because he was, between the sidelines there, but he was able to scoot right around Thomas.
Ray eschewed the shot to kill more time. Thomas better be careful. It's been a very successful game of keep away.
They got to look at the basket. There's a couple times they have Rance underneath. He could just send it home with a dunk.
Yeah. Exclamation. Oh, and to your point, there is not a defender. I mean, I know social distancing has been a big thing the last couple of years, but when you're 6 feet away from the 6'10" guy on the floor, you'd like to think that could convert to easy 2 points.
Yeah, Central continues to keep pulling out. I like the idea of keeping him just right down there. So if they can get the ball to the middle, somewhere at the top of the key foul line, whoever's got it should be able to turn around and give an easy bounce pass.
Bauer, 11 of 21 from the line, but I tell you, Parkland has been able to nail the free throws with the game winding down. And that started with the big free throws at a big time by Delir Adams off the bench. Both for Bauer. Back to an 11-point game, 2:34 to go. 8-game Central winning streak in jeopardy. Parkland trying to make it a 5-game winning streak. Joyce misses, gets it back, fouled by Joshi, he'll shoot 2.
That was a good set there to get Joyce a touch in the post, just missed, but he was able to stay with it and get that offensive rebound.
The only loss Central has had came in an in-season tournament against Springside Chestnut Hill. Joyce has his 6th point. They lost that game 61-60. Otherwise, they would have a perfect season on the line here at Parkland tonight.
Yeah, they've had a bunch of 1-point games this year, and they've been on the other side of them, on the winning side of them for most of them. But it's crazy, again, it's high school basketball. They're coming off that win against Emmaus, to only put up 27 points so far in this game.
He handled it, Emmaus 55-26. Look at that effort. It's kept alive. Tough shot. It won't go, but that'll send another Viking to the line. It's Jarrell Vigo.
Parkland definitely looks real shaky under this pressure here.
Now, from the opposite side, you've coached in these games as well, where you've dominated the pace of play the entire way, and yet with 2:10 and a 9-point lead, it's still not an easy feeling, right? It's still unsettling as a coach.
Oh, yeah. If I'm Andy Stevens right now, I'm still super scared. Yeah, I think he's making a good decision here, sending Adams back into the game to help out, break this press.
Meanwhile, Central has missed 3 of its last 5 free throws at a time where they can really not afford that, but they get an offensive rebound. And here is an open look. Thomas from downtown. Splash! Again, Thomas a big answer, and it's a 6-point game. This is the closest Central has been in eternity. And nearly a steal.
That was a long
wow,
pass.
Vigo nearly had it. 12 points for Tyson Thomas. And a timeout taken here as it's all of a sudden a 6-point game. It was 11 not too long ago.
Yeah, and I still just think that Parkland is they're playing with fire here with their guys not looking to attack. They're trying to just hold on to the ball for another 2 minutes here, a minute 48.
Yeah, it's tough when you play one style to build a lead, right? And then you have to play kind of another style to seal a game. You know, you excelled playing one way, and I'm sure you've been on the sidelines wondering, what should I do here? Because conventional wisdom tells me one thing, but my eyes tell me another.
Yeah, and the problem is it's scary either way. You know, when you come down to these games, if you let your players play, you're afraid they're going to make a mistake or the ball's going to go out of bounds, they're going to play too fast. And then on the other end, the way Parkland's playing right now, you're just afraid that they're going to make a tentative mistake. So I just always chose to try to be proactive in these situations, try to extend the lead as opposed to hang on to it.
It's, to switch gears, it's like a prevent defense in football, right? You play well, you're shutting out a team or you're dominating a team, you lay back because you're trying to kill time, and next thing you know, you got a ball game, right?
Yeah.
So you can't win. As a coach, you can't win. You just got to feel what's best with the guys that you have on the floor, and I think that's probably why you saw Adams come in. We didn't see him in the first half, but I think Andy Stevens knew that if he put him in, he'd have another guy who can handle the rock and hit free throws if fouled, and that's what he did while he was in. Now again, you're going to have to see desperation defense here for the men in green. Boy, Vigo getting very close to an interception.
They're still sticking with it. I thought they might come out and look to attack.
So they fouled Joshi, and if you're wondering, he has gone 3 of 8 from the line. So not a whole lot of opportunities from the charity stripe for the senior.
But he did knock down that big 3, so you know he can shoot.
And a career high 12, or a season high 12 against Northampton. We'll see Northampton a couple games from now. Look at the difference, though, the free throw shooting down the stretch. Parkland has made the shots.
Yeah, that might come down to being what is the big difference in this game.
Well, between Adams, Bauer, and now this, you've had 5 made free throws. You don't make those free throws, it's a one-possession game. And now they're 6 for their last 6.
And Central's 0 for 4 on their last 4.
So that free throw shooting drives coaches crazy. He wins or loses games. Thomas trying to get free, spinning into the paint. Oh, look at that lead for Joyce, who finishes. Still alive, the Vikings, as Joyce has come to life a little bit here in the second half.
I mean, that play was incredible. I've seen a bunch of plays, throughout this year, and that one, he made it look so smooth, just that spin move in the lane, and then to find his running mate, on a dime. It's crazy.
Well, you've seen it with point guards and guys who like to probe and penetrate, that sometimes the body moves a little too fast, right? And your hands have to stay alive, your brain. And with Thomas, he can go in spinning into a pack of opposition defenders and still somehow keep control of the ball and know what he's going to do with it. Pass it, shoot it, kick it back out, whatever. That's not easy to do. Keep your composure when you're going at that kind of speed that he has been able to exhibit on his penetration.
Yeah, and then his vision, you can see that him and Joyce have just been playing together, because I don't know many other people that would have known that ball was going to even be coming to him.
Good point. Yeah, the anticipation, 2 seniors who have played together, who have won together, and you talk about last year, what an amazing year. First title for Central Catholic since 1986. And oddly enough, it would have been the first District 11 PIAA crown in 35 years as well, but Pottsville Nativity wound up winning against Berlin Brothers Valley 51-47 in overtime earlier that day. So two teams from District 11 wound up winning after 35 years of absence. Pretty crazy. Great sport. Joshi playing keep away to a fine degree, and now closing in on the final minute of play in a 6-point game. Ray, duress, and a foul.
Central's getting them into good spots. They just got to be a little bit more disciplined and make sure that they don't foul.
Now it's Ray's turn to continue what has been a good run of free throw shooting. He's one of their best. He's 81%. Look at knocking down clutch free throws here in the fourth quarter. That's unbelievable. 7 for 7. 8 for 8. And for Ray, he now has 5 points. He had a 3-pointer earlier in the game back in the first quarter. And this is how Parkland's going to win this game, is sealing it from the line if they do hold on. Nice move there by Polari.
Yeah, good left-hand finish.
Timeout, Trojans.
Trojans take a timeout, 43.7. So now you got to look down that sheet and say, well, who are we going to foul? If we're going to foul anybody, Koval shoots 85%, Ray 81%, Meeker 71, Bauer just 52, but he just stepped up and drilled his last 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. So really, it's a tough situation. And Rance is out there for defense and maybe to get a cherry-pick basket if they break pressure. So he won't have the ball in his hands necessarily to foul. So kind of pick your poison.
Yeah, I don't think that they have anybody that they can really foul. You probably just want to go with who's got the least amount of experience. So definitely not Koval.
Yeah.
But I think they want to, they've been doing a good job of trapping. If they get a trap here and play foul-free and get a turnover, all of a sudden it's going to be a 4-point game.
Seems like every time they've been able to get within 6, Parkland has quickly answered. They have not been able to cut it to that 2-possession game, or at least closer to a 1-possession game. And that's credit again to the free throw shooting, but also the fact that Parkland's not running around turning the ball over. They've been able, and they've come out, they've trapped them, they've pressed them, they have long athletic defenders, and they've been able to keep from turning the ball over as much as I'm sure Dennis Sensis would like to see. Better hurry here. They get it into Joshi. You talk about experience, and he doesn't have as much.
There it is.
There's a loose ball. Who's going to be on it? And again, it goes Parkland's bounce. Possession arrow goes to the Vikings. So they still can't get a loose ball break, but because of the possession arrow, the Vikings get it back at the time they had to have it.
But that was a foul-free trap. They were somehow, like you said, I guess you could say that ball bounced their way because it's the jump ball, but still, I thought somehow Parkland was going to come away with it.
Now, with a little sense of urgency here, if they had a 3-point shot here to make it a 1-possession game, crowd's going to get a little anxious. Polari, he had to be careful there because from our vantage point, that arm extended a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been a push-off or a carry, but he was able to get the call.
I was waiting to see what they'd call because part of me thought they were going to call Polari for the offensive foul. Now, he had a fine finish, not too long ago. He's 7 for 8 from the line. Makes this one. They had to have it. They've had their struggles here in the fourth quarter. 3 points for Nico Polari, a junior. All these points coming in the fourth quarter. Still alive, still a pulse for the Vikings in their 8-game winning streak. Big shots. Now let's see if they can create another turnover here. 4-point game. Parkland gets it to the right man, Koval. Slings it to Ray, who's fouled from behind. That time they had to foul him. And we'll see if Ray can be as cool as he was the last time he went to the free throw line.
Every time Parkland has struggled with pressure, it's because Koval doesn't get the ball first. So they were able to get it to him first there, and then it was no problem.
First foul on Polari. Ray 5 points tonight. And again, the net barely moves as he drains his 3rd consecutive free throw. Rance in, Joshi out. Parkland trying to seal it from the free throw line. Another one. I mean, even at a 50% clip from the line in the fourth quarter, you know, we'd be within a couple of points, you know, and Parkland's taking care of business from the line.
And that's that composure that Coach Stevens was looking for.
Gotta hurry. Someone's got to take the shot. Vigo, bullseye! And they won't go away. 3-point, one-possession game. Free throws upcoming for Parkland as Vigo keeps the Vikings alive. He's now had 2 triples and 6 points for the game.
Yeah, from that same spot, too.
And I thought Mushrush was going to fire away. Had an open look, passed it one more time, which, considering the clock winding down, I wasn't sure it was the right decision. Well, it was. An assist for Mushrush and the triple by Vigo. And now Koval, the one guy you probably don't want to foul. 50 of 59 this season, and another make. Wow. 19 for Nick Koval. 11 for 11 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter for Parkland. 12 for 12. 5-point game, 10 seconds to go. It's got to be a desperation here. Here's the launch by Thomas. Off the mark. Joshi the rebound. Ball is loose. Clock is winding down. Possession arrow, Parkland.
They're going to play down to the wire here as they get one more foul in. But I think that's just desperation.
Well, fans shuffling out here from Parkland High School. Give the Vikings credit. They didn't fold up the tent. They kept fighting.
Yeah, I know when you look back at this game, the Vikings can be frustrated in how things went, but they showed a lot of fight. And like we talked about, the ball just didn't bounce their way, and that was Meeker. That's the first missed foul shot for this quarter.
You know, with 0.5 seconds left, I think Andy Stevens can forgive him. Thomas, the heave is no good, and Parkland, a 5-game winning streak, atoning for an earlier 2-point loss in Allentown at Rockney Hall, gets the victory today. Parkland, a 5-game winning streak behind the strength of a 45-39 win here over the Vikings. They played one heck of a game.
Yeah, they really did, and they gutted it out, you know, playing kind of a different style, but they battled, and you know, like I said before, Central, they really fought through a lot of adversity and only lost by 6. So they can't hang their heads too low right now. And I know they had that winning streak going, but you know, maybe this will help them kind of figure things out as they move on.
Yeah, sometimes you learn from losing, right? And you can't win them all. But what you took from the fact is that this is a team that if they do get into a situation in a postseason game, that they have proven that they don't just run away. They're going to still play hard. And from a coach's perspective, the fight in the dog, tough to take out, and they've definitely got that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like both teams here now, though, they're going to be able to, if they see each other, you know, again in league playoffs, they know that, you know, on Central's end, we could have played better. On Parkland's end, they said, you know what, maybe we got away with one there. So both teams are going to be looking to do things a little differently the next time they play each other.
So very good stuff here, and we're going to hear from Nick Koval. A pair of Knicks coming our way, and not the New York Knickerbockers, but our Knicks in a moment. But remember, too, if you're a student from District 11 school and you are interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, you can check out d11sports.com. Follow your dream and get close to the action as you take part in our student internship program. It's just ingenious. It's a great program. For more information, contact your athletic director. Reach out to Al or Dave at d11sports.com. 20 points from Nick Koval, his head coach right now, standing by. And we've got Nick Rivera and Andy Stevens. Take it away, Nick.
We're here with Coach Stevens after a big win. Coach, how's it feel to get your revenge on Central Catholic?
I just thought, you know, they're such a good team, and I thought we needed to really play a good game to have a chance. And I thought our kids played tremendous. So, well-played game. Happy we came out on top, but, you know, credit to them because they're such a good team. They'll bounce back.
Coach, if you guys keep playing this, how far are your expectations for this team?
Well, I keep saying hopefully we peak at the right time, which is at the end of the year. We're about 2 weeks away from that, so we'll see.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks. See you.
Well, you can't go wrong because they have won 5 in a row. They are peaking, and now we get the pair of Nicks. You know, we got Rivera, we got Koval. We're ready for our player of the game. Take it back away, Nick.
We're here with Nick Koval after a big win. Nick, 20 points. How'd it feel?
It felt great, especially because we lost some last time by 2. And credit to my teammates. They made every single free throw in the fourth quarter, so it helped a lot. It felt good to get a win.
And last time you played them, you kind of got locked down a kind of bit. How'd it feel to finally break out of that slump against them?
It felt really nice because, they played good defense last time. It finally felt good to get free and make a couple shots.
Thank you. All right, Nick Koval, player of the game, everyone.
And you'll get that T-shirt. You can see there, the honorary D11sports.com T-shirt. Koval played a heck of a game, and, he just carried them. Consistent scoring throughout. One of the better defenders that was on him when Thomas was out there, not in foul trouble, and was able to deliver. And, those big threes that he hit every time the Vikings thought they had a little seam, a little crease to wiggle their way back in and get some momentum back on their side. Nick Koval said, no, think again.
Yeah, he did a good job of being able to deal with that constant pressure of trying to get open with guys constantly following him around screens, and then at the same time having to handle the basketball as well. He was able to, not have tired legs somehow through all of that, knock down big shots.
Sure did, and he got some help down the stretch, as he mentioned. And that's how a guy's basketball IQ, right? Like if I'm playing for Parkland and you interview me, which wouldn't happen because I'm not going to put up 20 points, and I certainly aren't, I'm not going to connect from downtown. I'm thinking about, we had some big baskets, and the thing that he pointed to is the finer point of the game. My teammates hit the free throws in the fourth quarter. I'm not so sure there's a lot of athletes in the EPC or at any level in high school basketball who, when you ask about what went well, would refer to that. But from a coach's perspective, and a guy that's the son of a legendary local coach, that's pretty astute.
Yeah, he's thinking like a coach there. A lot of guys would just be, caught up in the moment of such a great game and just be elated just to have won and, played well. But he's looking at the finer aspects of the game and, pointing credit where credit's due to his teammates of stepping up big and knocking down free throws.
He did as well. He had a couple of those during the run of free throws, and Parkland comes away with a victory. And do we need another break, Kevin? No, we don't. Okay, great. Well, that's awesome because Parkland today gets the doubleheader sweep. The women snapping the 10-game Vikets winning streak and snapping their own 3-game skid, and then the boys coming back in the same gymnasium and extending their winning streak to 5 at the expense of the Vikings, who lose their 8-game winning streak. I'll tell you what, I hope that we get to see, maybe even call, but I hope we get to see another game between Parkland and Central, because the way these two teams go nip and tuck, they look like the heavyweights that in the West, and maybe a team or two that will make a lot of noise in the postseason.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, and there's a lot of teams in the EPC, both girls and boys side, that are going to have some great matchups. So just another great night of high school basketball here in the Lehigh Valley, and we'll get a couple more games before this season's out.
Sure will. And this game, both thrilling games, brought to you by our good friends at Broski Insurance, home, auto, life, and business. Broski Insurance Agency has you covered with more than 50 years of experience. Give their friendly staff a call at 610-264-3940 or visit their website, broskiins.com. Broski Insurance, tradition and pride since 1965. Ben, first time I've gotten to work with you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for carrying the broadcast with the X's and O's, and it was a lot of fun.
No, thank you so much for carrying it. It was fantastic. I'm a novice to this, but you certainly are consummate pro, and thank you very much.
Well, you're a consummate pro in the game of basketball, which makes the broadcast, I think, work well, because you were able to provide some great insights tonight. So we thank you for that. We had a couple of good games. And also let's thank Nick Rivera. He did a fine job. Again, just a sophomore, part of this D11 Sports internship. You want to check it out at D11sports.com. For the entire crew, great job today by the entire crew, and our producer, Kevin, did a great job. We had some technical difficulties in between games, so Kevin stayed cool, just like Parkland did from the free throw line. So, Kevin, great job. We thank you for your support. For the coach, Ben Tanis, I'm Matt Province saying so long and farewell a final time here from Parkland High School, where the boys complete the doubleheader sweep over Central Catholic, winning 45-39. We thank you for watching this edition of D11sports.com and the Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.